Hello, human dinosaurs! Yes, it's Lopho, and so we're back with an episode of r/dinosaur deep dive. Yes, how's it going, everyone? So today, what we're going to be doing is, once again, we are going to be taking a look at dinosaur deep dive on Reddit. So let's see what interesting fun facts or dinosaur shenanigans we've got going on this week. Anyone know if these fossils are real and what dinosaur it is? I don't think these are actual dinosaurs. I think they're something called like Hydrocephalosaurus, I think. Like, they're, like, animals that are usually found in China, I think? I mean, they themselves are very numerous. So from what I remember, they aren't, like, totally scientifically valuable, but I don't know if it's real, though. I mean, it looks pretty real. Do you think the Pachycephalosaurus could feel stuff on its dome like a turtle? Wait, do turtles feel? Yeah, I would assume yes, because I mean, the Pachycephalosaurus skull isn't gonna be just protruding bone, right? I mean, I'm gonna assume there's like a layer of like skin on top of it, or at least some kind of like keratin coverage, right? I mean, if I would feel something, like, if I tap my nails, I still feel it, even though, like, my nails don't have, like, feelers, so to say, but Dolores is a good Equilops design. No. No, like, literally, no, just look at them. They're completely different. Like, I don't know, maybe for the common man they might seem similar, but, like, no, how are they similar? The entire skull structure looks completely different. This guy doesn't even have quills. And nor does it have, like, these fangs that Equilops is known for. It's basically, like, a weird, like, fricked up, like, Microceratus, or and like, I don't know, maybe I don't even know what this is, I'm gonna be honest, right? Compare that with like a modern dinosaur. Like, what's a good, not modern dinosaur, like compared to like an actual dinosaur. Like, what would be a good equivalent, right? Like, I guess like weird Protoceratops, I guess? I mean, but I don't know. I don't really think it looks like an Equilops because, like, at least in the movie, I didn't really say this on the review, but the way Dolores was animated, made it feel like it was some kind of like, what you call those things? Those marmots? Or like those weasels? How do you call those things? It gave off those like groundhog vibes. But yeah, prairie dogs. Yeah, stuff like those. Like, but like Equilops likely didn't do that. Like, its bone structure didn't allow him to like raise up its body, right? It doesn't even move like an Equilops either. So I don't know, like, it's basically, like, Jurassic Park's way of Velociraptor, you know? It looks nothing like the actual animal, but, yeah, that's the thing now. Same goes with Equilops. Well, I guess all we can say is rest in peace, Google Images. Your legacy of Equilops images have been tainted. I mean, it's not as bad just yet, considering the movie's pretty new, but yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Jurassic Park stuff already. Common names for dinosaurs. I don't get the plot of people are bored of dinosaurs. Yeah, that is true, but again, the Malosaurus doesn't make that much sense either, right? I can kind of understand if people are bored of dinosaurs. They aren't bored by the dinosaurs themselves, right? But what I do think is that Jurassic World, like, it was a weird way of phrasing it. Because Jurassic World was located on a separate island. Obviously, going back to the island would be like, it cost you a shit ton of money, basically, right? And I think Jurassic World was one of those theme attractions where it kind of felt like, oh yes, it was a great visit once, but it's not really a place you'd want to visit again. So, and I think at that point, a lot of people have visited Jurassic World so many times. At that point, like, people weren't getting that many audiences anymore because they didn't want to come back because they didn't want to pay like a couple $1,000s just to see the same dinosaurs again. So every time people were trying to like innovate and make new dinosaurs so that people would have something new to come back for, basically. What I think is the case, because yes, people visit zoos every now and then, but like the zoo doesn't require you to go halfway across the globe, fly yourself onto a private island, right? Like, I think that was the way that the part was, that was the thing they were trying to say, But then they just said, oh yes, people are bored of dinosaurs. But like it's a weird ways of phrasing it, that's for sure. But like, I think that's kind of what the movie was implying. Is what I'd like to believe. Because the park itself was doing pretty well. In the movie itself, which was one of my main complaints, because, well, the park, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when people say, oh, people are bored of dinosaurs, actively shows people enjoying the dinosaurs. I think what they're saying is that they aren't just getting, like, revisits of the same guests again to the park that often now, because people have seen these same dinosaurs over and over again, so they're trying to do something new. Is, I think, the vibe that they were going for that came off really weird. What we've had common names for dinosaurs. Right now, we only refer them to as their genus name, or rarely genus name, and species name. So, what if we gave each dinosaur a common name? Examples such as calling Spinosaurus aegypticus as back-crested hunter. I mean... You've got gorilla. Gorilla, did you know? The scientific name of gorilla is gorilla, so... I don't really think that this discussion holds a lot of sense. Considering that, yes, there are a lot of animals where we basically have, like, a common name. Like, which is basically the same thing as the scientific name. But I do think, if the Spinosaurus did have a common name, it would probably be something like sailback. Because modern animals don't have, like, sails on their back, so... You know, kind of like how, what you call those, what's a good example, actually? Now that I think about it, I can't think of a good thing. I mean, rhinoceros basically means a horn nose, right? So it kind of makes sense just to call a Spinosaurus like a sailback, because it's the feature what it's like best known for. What I find annoying and sometimes very frustrating with people giving common names is that they make no sense, and lion in this sense could be a fur bite or furry biter. It's not, it's a lion. Common names have been evolving and changing from the moment they've been made, and always have, some non-normal words in them. Stuff like T-Rex being big bite makes no sense to me, because that's not how common names work. True? True. Common names of modern animals if they were invented by r/dinosaurs. Panther, a great fur claw. Crocodilus, armored swamp jaw. Gallus, crested rabbit eagle. Balenoptera, gigantic titan flipper. Ursus, Goliath megadog. That's how ancient people named animals. The camel's original name was the one who carries. But unfortunately, this isn't ancient people, right? Like, let's say for example, ancient people did name dinosaurs, right? We'd probably have a word like a camel or wolf, as the guy is saying, but with dinosaurs, because dinosaurs, I guess in this world, they probably would have been around before, like, humanity was, like, undergoing the Industrial Revolution and shenanigans, right? The dinosaurs and the humans, like, what we're basically saying, in this world, I guess, if humans ever did decide to give dinosaurs, like, normal names, like bear or lion, that kind of implies that dinosaurs have been with us for a very long time, because if dinosaurs did decide to come back, I'm pretty sure the Spinosaurus would always just be called, like, Spino or Spinosaurus. We wouldn't be calling this, like, a sailback all of a sudden, right? Just because they're, like, commonly found in our world now. I don't think that's gonna be happening. People would still just call this, like, a Spino. So, if you do consider a dinosaurs being with us, like, non-avian ones, for a very long time since, like, prehistoric ages, we'd probably get different names for T-Rex and Spinosaurus and etc. So, honestly, just giving common names itself, the whole premise itself is just wrong. But, because, well, again, common names for our modern animals come from old words, usually, that are made by old people. So, trying to bring dinosaurs into the sentence doesn't really work out usually that well. Because we aren't speaking the old language, where our current names are derived of. Someday I'll be someone's favorite dinosaur. 83.5 million years later. The amazing Triceratops. Oh, that's cool. Hey, see, that's a great lesson. Sometimes, if you want to be someone's favorite person, all you gotta do is die. I might consider it, actually. How do you prefer your Parasaurolophus? No skin between the crest, or skin in between the crest? Okay, so because... Why'd you put the or at the front of the sentence? That doesn't make sense, right? You should have said no skin in between the crest, or skin in between the crest. Like, no insane person is gonna start reading the meme from the right to left, right? Huh? Okay, like, minor nitpick, I know. Like, why'd you do it like that? I think the skin in between the crest looks nice because it opens up a lot of possibilities. But I do think that the Parasaurolophus, because we found, like, Parasaurolophus fossils that have, like, a notch in the back of their back, which I actually, from what I've heard, it's not actually for the crest. It's like a tree falling over it. But I think having, like, a skin behind the crest would just limit its head movement a lot. And people thought that that's where the crest would go if the Parasaurolophus, like, stretched its, like, head out. But now we know that that wasn't actually the case, and this is, like, an injury the dinosaur got when a tree, like, fell on top of it or something. But yeah, the bones did heal, so the dinosaur did live after the tree fall. Because, yeah, that's actually, I think, how we knew this wasn't wasn't like a normal notch, because it showed, like, signs of healing. So, honestly, the right one could also be just as valid. It's just that we don't know. What if it's like people's earlobes? Some have people's skin connecting to their ears to their face, and some people just have their lobes freely hanging. Yeah, could be, could be. Maybe there's individual variation. Whichever crest allowed him to breathe fire. That is the objectively correct answer. Anyone remember Papo at its peak? What do you mean remember? Papo is still peak. Haven't you seen those new dinosaur models that they added? This might be a hot take, but Papo is honestly better at marrying the Jurassic Park style with modern scientific accuracy than the Jurassic World movies are. That is true, but at the same time, I kind of do think that just might be because Papo is good at emphasizing, like, scale textures. Yeah, these ones. Yeah, the Yangshanno, the Emonto, the Feta T-Rex, and the Ananguera. Yeah, they look just as good as the old ones, I'd say. Like, there was a weird session in the middle of, like, 2020, I think, where just Papo just made, like, the worst dinosaurs, like, ever. Papo, like, got schleichified for, like, 2 or 3 years, and they immediately swapped back to the original sculptor. He's just a chill guy. I just want a regular spider, damn it. Suffering from success, as you can see. I do wonder, though. Like, is it just me, or does it feel like, in modern dinosaur, like, blind bag toys, why does it feel like the so-called rare, in quotations, like a gold, a silver dinosaur? I feel like every time I buy, like, a batch of them, I always end up getting, like, one of the gold/silver ones. And at this point, I'm starting to believe that that's not coincidence. Like, maybe the gold ones are a bit more common than we think. I don't know, maybe it's just so that the guy who opens them feels better. How old were you? And dodos aren't prehistoric, are in fact from the 1600s. What do you mean? The 1600s is prehistoric. Well, all jokes aside, it is still crazy to think about that dodos lived alongside humans at some point. But, like, it's like, the main cause of dodos' extinction was always linked to, like, cats and people overhunting them. So, I always did kind of assume that dodos weren't, like, from the Cretaceous, but, like, I didn't expect them to be, like, in the 1600s, right? I thought it was, like, I actually thought dodos were, like, much more modern, actually. I thought the dodos only became extinct around, like, the 1900s when I was a kid, but no, they were extinct, like, a long, long time ago. Scientifically accurate Stenonychosaurus. Stenonychosaurus! My fossils were found in Montana/USA. I do find it very silly how it shows the human dinosaur, but, like, it literally uses Steve Kirk's rendition of Stenonychosaurus. Was it Steve Kirk? I think it was, right? Image on the size comparison, which almost makes it seem like the red guys are the Stenonychosaurus. So weird. I actually have like 2 of these cards because I think my dad's friend gave me one, and my friends got me one for my birthday when I was in 2nd grade. So I actually have like 2 of these cards. It's a Dino Man. Honestly, like the one card that put me off wasn't the Stenonychosaurus. It was actually the Megalosaurus, which for some reason uses like the Crystal Palace depiction. But later down the drain, I actually noticed that that wasn't even the Crystal Palace Megalosaurus. It was the Heliosaurus for some reason. Very weird. So yes, the Predator War movie releases August 21st. Awesome, can't wait to watch it. Researchers in Colorado have uncovered what they believe is the largest known dinosaur mating display site. It expands of more than 60 large scrape marks on prehistoric rock, likely made by theropods around 100 million years ago. Wait, isn't this the one with the Acrocanthosaurus? Wait, that was from 2025. Oh, this is pretty modern, huh? So I guess it was, wait, no. Hold, you guys can see this, right? So I guess this is like, kind of like the scene from Dinosaur Revolution with all the Gigantoraptors dancing around. I guess it was that. So it's not clear which species made the scraps, but they were likely 3 to 4 feet high at the hip and were between 2.5 and 5 meters long. Oh, so it's not Acrocanthosaurus. Acrocanthosaurus was a lot larger than this. They'll dig out a nest display, basically a fake nest, to be able to show a female that, hey, I'm a strong male, I can dig this. I can make a good, strong place for you to lay your eggs. When then a female comes to visit, they'll perform a dance. The things we do for love. Pterosaurs. Dude, who made this art? Pterosaurs are better. Okay. Dude, who made this art? How did lightning affect large sauropods? I will say though, I do think, like, not the second image, but the first image, you know, obviously, I don't think sauropods could blast lightning to their enemies. I don't think that's something that they did IRL, but I do think some sauropods would have died from a lightning strike. I think that likely would have happened at least a couple times throughout Earth's history. New article from Paul Sereno just dropped. Oh my god, Paul Sereno? Holy crap, okay. Promising new discoveries about African dinosaurs, including a tall-crested Spinosaurus species. Oh, yeah, wait, the paper about that guy is still not out yet? Interesting, huh? But who knows? There's like a million dinosaurs in Sereno's lab. Hopefully, I'll get to see some of them before I die. 1910s, Spinosaurus was discovered, believed to walk upright. 2000, actually very agile, eat T-Rex for breakfast. 2020, now an aquatic species, thick as fuck. 2030s, latest fossil discoveries determined that Spinosaurus could use Konkura haki. Okay, not so sure what that is, but alright. New scanning tech allowed scientists to prove that they can also use domain expansion. Yeah, sure. Sure, why not? Why not? Did anybody watch this as a kid? Dino Dan. Okay, to be fair, we did bring up Dino Dan a couple weeks ago, so we'll just skip this one. Should Oviraptor's name be changed? Okay, I think it's a discussion that we've had earlier. Knowing what we know now about the Oviraptor being an egg nurturer instead of an egg thief, should they change his name to something else? No! Like, what? Again, why do people think that? Just because we now know that Oviraptor took care of its own eggs, doesn't mean that it likely didn't eat other eggs as well. If you literally look at its skull, it's made to crack open hard surfaces. It likely ate mollusks and eggs. Like, obviously. Like, why would an animal of its size not, like, pass up a free meal? I don't understand this. Like, it's similar in a way, I don't understand why people are mad about the Oviraptor eating the egg in Jurassic World, Dominion. Like, Oviraptor likely did eat eggs. What makes it think that it didn't eat eggs? But then they won't change in part because of the ICZN, function. Yes. Specific principles it follows for the sake of regulating naming a species. So we're using all the same name for the same tax, and one of these is a principle of priority. The correct scientific name to use for an animal is the oldest available name. Yeah, it doesn't perfectly describe an animal, but still useful as a label. See, there it is. No, because Oviraptor was still an absolute, still an egg thief. Just because it cared for its own eggs doesn't mean it didn't steal others. Exactly. Because it makes no sense for animals to escape out on easy calories. Thank you! Because humans millions of years in the future might misinterpret its fossils. See, that's what I mean. I mean, true, even Stegosaurus, if you think about it, the name is wrong, right? Because with Stegosaurus, it was called roof lizard because of the way people used to think its plates were shaped. But now we know that it wasn't the case. But we still call it a Stegosaurus. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been just, I don't know, hugging the Oviraptor saying, "Oh no, we need to hug Oviraptor. We feel bad because we all thought it was something else." But no, I don't think so. I mean, dude, if your mouth is literally a biological nutcracker, of course you'd use it to crack open eggs. The poor girl named Rose isn't even a plant. They should change her name. Yeah, exactly. We should call it, I don't know, a human pile of flesh or something like that. We need an accurate description. Baryonyx is corny as shit. So sit back and let us bless a soul for you. This is why nobody likes you, Barry. Get it? Because it's a British dinosaur? And you know what's insane about this meme? Is the fact that despite them cartoonifying Baryonyx to this degree, they still made sure to include the fact that Baryonyx had large foreclaws. Yeah, if in a sense, this depiction of Baryonyx is more better at characterizing Baryonyx than the one from the freaking Jurassic World movie, which is insane to say, but it's true, you know? Okay, guys, but I think that is gonna be it for this week's Dinosaur Reddit Deep Dive. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, may the Jurassic Spirit with you. Bye-bye.